Hello and good afternoon. Welcome to another video. So the past two videos I've done, one was on Facebook Live and that didn't really turn out well. And the other one was on YouTube and I was live for that one, but it didn't upload after. So I have no idea what's going on. So I'm just doing, this is not live. This is just going to be a regular video. And I think I figured out how to upload videos faster and make sure they're uploaded now, so that I can get videos out, because that's what I'm trying to do right now. Is just get videos out and content out, so that in the next couple months and years I can grow and grow and grow. So that's what I'm trying to do. But yes, so LSU beats Southern 65-17. There's really not much to talk about that much anymore. I went live a few days ago, talked about it. There really isn't much to take away from that game. You fixed a lot of mistakes that you were making during the FSU game, but you really can't take away that much from an opponent like Southern. They're not the teams that you're going to be playing, like Mississippi State and Auburn and Tennessee, etc. They're more of just like kind of a gimme game, right? They're just like a, there you go, you're gonna beat them. You don't know how much you're gonna beat them by. You could beat them by 20, or you could beat them by 40 or whatever. But we were gonna beat Southern no matter what. So there's not much you can take away from that. Jaden Daniels looked a lot more comfortable. Still wanting to see him throw that ball and get more comfortable in the pocket, but he definitely looks a lot more comfortable when he's throwing the ball. In getting into this Mississippi State game, I do think he's going to be a threat for the Mississippi State defense. I watched a little bit of the Arizona Mississippi State game, and Mississippi State did win that game. But one thing I noticed is Arizona's QB was able to always get, not always, but a lot of the time he was able to get away from that pressure. Now, he did make dumb decisions and just like chunk the ball downfield and throw an interception. He threw a few interceptions, and it kind of made Mississippi State's defense look better than they really were. But he was able to be mobile and get away from them. So I'm looking at that, and I'm like, as I'm analyzing and taking it, I'm like, Jaden Daniels is a very talented quarterback. I think he's right now top 5 in all of college football for efficiency. So I'm very comfortable with Jaden Daniels right now in this game ahead. I think he can scramble. I think he's going to use his legs a lot in this game. Get ready. He's going to use his legs a lot. He's going to have to. This is a good, it's not the best Mississippi State defensive line, but it's a good Mississippi State defensive line. They're not bad. I think we've seen better in the past. Obviously, I don't think they're as good as some people think them out to be, but they're definitely a good Mississippi State defensive line, and you always see that with Mississippi State's D line. There, they always have a good, solid, I mean, in the trenches D line, and I think they're gonna fight. And but I was able to see Arizona's QB get away from them a lot, or sometimes they wouldn't even get pressure. Arizona's QB would have a lot of time to throw, so we'll see what happens with that. I think Jaden Daniels needs to get more comfortable throwing. He's going to need to throw in this game because he's not going to be able to run all the time. I mean, he's athletic. He's good with the ball, but he's going to need to make some big time throws in this game. Offensive line is going to stay. I think offensive line is going to stay the same as it was for the Southern game. Cam Wire is no longer playing. Well, here, let's see. I have it. I always forget. So Dellinger moved to left guard. He was at center, so he's at left guard. They made this change for the Southern game to try it out, but Brian Kelly said they're gonna keep it the same. So Dellinger left guard, Charles Turner at center. Frazier is at right tackle. Um, Campbell's left tackle. So yeah, that's how it's gonna be. That's how it's gonna be for this game as well. And I'm sure they're gonna rotate some guys in. Catholic guy. I graduated with him, Emory Jones. I like to see him play some. But we'll see how they rotate some of these guys in, and hopefully our offensive line has been able to learn some new techniques and really be able to fight this Mississippi D line, because they're gonna have to. Give Jaden Daniels some time. Now, as I've said before, and I said the last video, I don't know that much about O line. Don't know much about D line. So if you see me kind of scattering or looking for stuff, I'm focused on more of like quarterbacks, receivers, running backs. As right now, I'm still learning. I'm still trying to analyze and get knowledge and get better at this. But offensive line is one of the most important things about football. And you can see it with the past two games. Even against Southern, LSU's O-line struggled to keep good technique against a Southern D-line. And that's just something like your O-line should be able to give Jaden Daniels as much time as he needs to deliver a pass. And I felt like sometimes the O-line kind of gave up, and there was still tackles for loss, etc. So that O-line has to play the strongest they've ever played past two games. They need to bring it against this Mississippi State D-line, and let's hope they do. Now, the biggest thing everyone's been talking about, even when you hear Mississippi State football, you think of the air raid offense. That's what it's, air raid offense. They're a heavily pass thrown team. I mean, they're gonna pass the ball, and LSU just has to be aware and cover the middle of the field, because that's where they're gonna target a lot. Will Rogers is insanely accurate. He gets the ball out insanely fast. When I was watching the highlights, I mean, he can zip up. He's insanely accurate. He's probably the best passing quarterback in college football right now, in my opinion. The man can throw a dime, and he doesn't have that many wide receivers that are just like these standout wide receivers, but he can make it happen. He's gonna throw short passes. He might throw a 5-yard pass that can turn up the field 20 yards. So we're gonna need to cover short passes, the outs, the middle of the field is gonna be very important. So it's just how LSU's gonna defend that. Think what they're probably gonna do is line up three against Mississippi State's O line. A lot of the time, they're gonna just send three, and you're just gonna drop back and play coverage. And we'll see how that goes. I think they're gonna have to switch it up. Number 23. I don't remember his name. Let me check. I think Travion Williams. I think it was Travion Williams. Either that or Dylan. No. Dylan Johnson. Dylan Johnson, the running back. I saw some of his play, and he's a pretty good running back. I mean, he can make it happen. So when Mississippi State wants to run, say they're not having much luck, I mean, shoot, they could. LSU can anticipate pass the Mississippi State's first drive, and they can just run it up the gut and take it for a first down or even more. So that's something else you're gonna have to look out for. You can't always go for like what you're expecting. Mike Jones Jr. We haven't seen a lot from him yet. I think he's going to be a big player in this game. Especially with Mississippi State like in the throw it in the middle of the field. I think he's gonna drop back in the coverage. I think he can have a big game. Baskerville, who's a big player that we're gonna need. He's gonna make some big time plays. I'm already telling you. The man's a beast. So you got that. I'm trying to think what I'm missing. I wrote my notes and I'm already forgetting. What do I say? I talked about Jaden Daniels. I think he's gonna have a successful game. I think he still might be playing a little scared as far as not wanting to throw the ball. But from what I saw with Arizona's QB, I think Jaden Daniels can make it happen and make big plays. And we just gotta. The main thing I'm worried about is our O-line. If we can play good protection, we can play really good football because we have the wide receivers. I mean, we have them. We have talented players. Our talent, this LSU, as far as talent, not just how you play and how you're being coached, but the pure talent LSU has is just insane. We have so much talent on our side, and if you won games by talent, we would be 2-0 right now. And potential, and after this Mississippi State would be 3-0 if you're basing it off of pure talent, because we have a lot of talent. So we just have to see what we can develop in this game. I'm excited. This is your Brian Kelly going your first SEC game. He knows Mike Leach. He's known him for years, over 2 decades. He knows. I mean, this Mike Leach offense is it's an old offense, old type style offense. From what I've been seeing, but it's effective right now. And 2 years ago, you got what was Mississippi State's quarterback today? I forget. They were for 604 yards, something like that, and then I think they threw for 300 something yards last year. So they're picking apart LSU's defense every year for the past couple of years. So it's something we're gonna need to be weary of. I'm high on our offense. I really am. I'm just high on our offense this week. I think we're coming back into Tiger Stadium to prove something. I do think we're gonna win. I'm not gonna make a score prediction. I never make score predictions. I don't like score predictions, but I do think LSU is gonna win this football game. Not just the bias of me being an LSU fan, but I just see the talent and I see how LSU is gonna develop. And then when you're playing, like when we get to that Texas A&M game, you're gonna see the biggest development in an LSU football team than you've seen in years. I mean, this team by the end of the year is gonna be so good. It's gonna be crazy. We're so talented, and I stress that over and over again. We're very talented, and I think we're gonna win this football game. You got John Emery back. That's something I was trying to remember. You got John Emery back, a big back. Are they gonna incorporate him a lot into this game? I don't know. I think they're gonna test him out and see how he rock and rolls, and if he's good, if he's making 10, 20 yard runs, etc. If he can turn, let's say, like a 1 yard pass into 20, 30 yards, I think he's rocking and rolling all game. The only thing I think they're gonna limit him by is if he's not doing as well. If he's carrying for 3, 4 yards, 5 yards at a time, whatever. I think they were gonna limit him. If he's coming out the gate and he's just rocking and rolling and making stuff happen, I think they're gonna continue to run him, because why not? I mean, he's a big part. He's gonna be a big part of this LSU offense this Saturday and in the future. So I'm ready to see him rock and roll. A lot of the pressure has been on Jaden Daniels. Yeah, people say, "Oh, Nussmeier." Even after Nussmeier threw 2 picks, almost 4, you still have people on the Nuss bus. But he kind of showed you. I still have faith in Nussmeier. I think he can be a very, very talented quarterback, but he kind of showed you what happens if he's the starter. And that's something we don't need right now. I think Jaden Daniels, with good protection, can be a Heisman Trophy winner. Honestly, he's top 5 in the NCAA, all of college football right now. He's top 5. So think he can be a very good quarterback. I'm just hope we can find a scheme with this offensive line and get something going in confidence, because you can tell a lot of the coaches are just testing stuff out, right? When you have that much movement, they're just testing stuff out and just trying to see what works, and that's not a bad thing. You kind of have to see how things are gonna go, before you can make big judgment calls. So we'll see. Even this week, I talked a little about the offensive line. Even though I don't know much, I'm not gonna try to get into offensive line talk because I don't know anything about O-line. But you saw the changes there. You see Greg Books moves back to safety. Jay Ward is going to move in at nickel, where I think he belongs. And I think we're making these changes, and we're honestly just testing stuff out. And one day, if it's this Mississippi State game or if it's New Mexico, you can't really see that much from. But if it's Auburn or Tennessee, we're gonna find the cushion. Like, I feel like we're down here and the cushion's right here, but I mean, we're trying to find that space in between where this offense and O-line this whole team really can be successful. I'm excited because once you find that rhythm and you're going, this is going to be a really good football team. I was watching something today and it was just off of pure talent. This LSU team is more talented than Mississippi State. And I've even seen Mississippi State fans comment, yeah, I mean, that's completely right. They are, but are they more disciplined? And are they coached better? You don't know right now. Well, you have to see on Saturday. So I'm excited. I'm really excited for this game. I can't wait to go to it, honestly. Got one more day. We're tailgating. We're getting hyped up. So I'm really excited to see what is to come this weekend. So let me make sure I touched on everything I want to touch on, because I forget things and then I remember them again as I scroll through and talk. So yeah, LSU is a 2-point underdog right now. So especially after losing to FSU, I wouldn't expect anything different. So LSU's the underdog. And we'll see if LSU can make it happen. I think they can. like I said, I think they're gonna win this football game. It'll depending on how your defense reacts to this pass attack. What will the score be? I don't know. I don't think it'll be too high scoring. I really don't. We just have to stop the pass. If we can stop the pass, I mean, we got it in the bag pretty much. There's really nothing they can do. I think our defense is gonna play hard, right out the gate. Just expect big plays right out the gate. That's what I'm expecting. That's what we're gonna see. Or I think we receive right away. Brian Kelly's already said we're getting the ball. If we win that coin toss, he's already said at the beginning of the year we're getting the ball every single time. So just expect us to receive. First quarter, 15 minutes on the clock. We're getting that ball. I'm already calling it. But if you don't stop the passing offense, I think there's a real big problem. I don't see LSU winning that football game if they can't find a way to stop the pass. I do think they can, but will they? That's a different question. If you get picked apart like you have in the past, by this MSU, because even though I think we won 28-23 last year, something like that, and they still had way more yards than we did. That's rare. This offense can pick us apart. They can pick this defense apart. When you got the defense on the field a lot, it just kind of brings the whole mood down, and then your offense doesn't do good as well, and then your defense on the field a lot. So let's just hope we can prevent FSU part 2, right, where they have the ball for 10 more minutes than we do. So we'll see. Oh, also BJ Ojolari, who was injured in the FSU game, will be back. He's good to go for this week. You really didn't even need to play him last week. That's why he didn't dress out. He wasn't dressed out. So that's a good decision. I think you give him another week to prepare and get and heal and get better. Good decision. So you got him back. You got Alligay coming back, and 2 players you need. I wish I could say, oh, you have Mason Smith coming back, but I mean, it happens. It really sucks every time I think about it, because he's just a huge player, probably one of the biggest players we have as far as making plays happen. But it happens. So 3 things. So O-line needs to perform better than they ever have. Right? They have to give Jaden Daniels time. So we'll see what happens by that. I hope I can say Sunday morning when I'm recording my video, I hope I can say this looks like a good offensive line. I hope those words can come out my mouth. So you got that. You obviously need to stop the air raid offense. I think we can, but I remember, and a lot of commentators have been talking about this, about the Bo Pelini offense just staying in man, almost like a sick joke. 2 years back when they threw for 600 something yards on us, and Bo Pelini just didn't do anything. And Brian Kelly talked about that the other day in his conference. Like, we're gonna need to change some things up. We can't show the same thing every play. You're gonna go man zone, and if I mean, this is gonna be rare, but blitzing, getting to the quarterback, having a cornerback blitz. Say you put Baskerville on the edge, and he just let him fly and make a tackle. You're gonna have plays like that, where you're sending in linebackers or even cornerbacks on the edge and getting them to come in. So we'll see. So O line needs to perform. Air raid offense. We're gonna have to stop. What was the last thing? I forget. I lose my own thoughts in my head. Really need to start writing stuff down more because it happens. But honestly, I think those are the most important things. Anyway, I just really hope our O line can really perform. It's something that's probably one of the things I'm most worried about. This whole thing is how our O line can handle. Obviously, I said John Emery coming back. If he can relieve Jaden Daniels from all that running, that'd be nice. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Let me go through my notes and make sure I've touched on everything. But Will Rogers, just to talk about him real quick. What an like the highlights that I watched, and I didn't even watch the whole game, but the raw footage I was watching, I mean, that dude can just sling the ball, and yeah, that's scary because if LSU can't get pressure, that's scary. I mean, the dude can make plays happen, and just watching him, I'm not gonna say Mississippi State's receivers are bad, but they're not as talented, are really even nowhere near LSU's wideouts, and he's just making plays happen. So we'll see what happens with that. Hmm. So I think I touched on everything. Uh, Again, like this, share this if you see it. I'm trying to get better at this. I know some stuff I might say might just be like kind of out of the wazoo. Um, I'm still learning, getting better. I'm watching other people every day so that I can see what they do and I'm trying to bring my style, obviously. Trying to find a style for myself. But I'm also trying to kind of implement on what other people do and picking up some stuff from others. So we'll see. I think I got everything. Yeah, I don't know if I talked about receivers. I definitely liked the receiver play a lot better in the Southern game. It's Southern, but still, Booty, get more involved. Think you're gonna see a lot of him, Neighbors, Thomas, Besh. I think Jane Daniels wants to get better at just sitting in the pocket and delivering. I really think he's trying as hard as you can see with each. You can see it with the game last Saturday against Southern. There was moments when he was just about to run. And he was like, "No, I'm gonna deliver this pass," and he did. And I think it's just almost innate behavior for him to be like, "Okay, I don't say anything. Let's just run." And a lot of time there is stuff open, so he's gonna have to make things happen as far as that. So Dane Daniels, whenever John Emery, um, glad to see him back. I hope he can have a pretty good game. Show everyone what he's about. Then you got the defense. I kind of went over that. I'm still trying to learn more defense. I don't know too much. I'm a big offensive guy. I love offense, so I focus on offense the most. And when I'm watching, I focus on offense the most. But I am trying to get better at learning more defensive patterns, so I can break that down more when I see it. But yeah, so here we go. We got one more day. This is a throw up game, not throw up game, a toss up game. Mississippi State can win. Come to Tiger Stadium. They could win by 20 points. They could win by 3. They could lose by 3. They could lose by 20 points. This game, in my opinion, is unpredictable. It really is. I've said this before, but I don't like predictions. I don't care if people are like, "Oh well, that's just highly unlikely." No. It can happen. Anything can happen. Um, in college football, so we'll see what happens. Like I said, I think LSU takes away this football game. They beat New Mexico. I think Auburn's even a less threat than Mississippi State is. So if you beat Mississippi State, you're going to beat Auburn, and then you go into that Tennessee game the next week, and that's going to be an exciting game. I can't wait. We do have some other exciting games. You got Georgia, South Carolina. I'm definitely going to watch that game. Um, I think it's going to be a closer game than people think. Potential South Carolina upset. I don't know. You never know. South Carolina did lose to Arkansas last week, but you never know. Georgia's a really talented team. They're ranked number 1 for that reason. So you never know. But I'm gonna look over some more stuff. I might even make a video and touch on some of the things I didn't touch on today. I've been so freaking busy this week with homework and school, and it's probably been my busiest week um of my whole LSU year, because I am a freshman. So probably been my busiest week so far at LSU. So haven't been able to jot down notes and do everything that I wanted to, but hopefully I kind of talked about what I needed to, and I'll watch back this video, and I probably said a couple dumb things, honestly, but we'll see. I'll probably make like a short little video tomorrow, one more video talking about everything. But if you're watching this, thank you, and I'll see you tomorrow. Also, I thought even about maybe even splitting this, especially if it doesn't upload fast. I might split this video into 2 and upload them separately. So we'll see. So thank you, and like, share, and go Tigers.